When its military commander was killed by an Israeli airstrike yesterday, Hamas promised the gates of hell would be opened. The over 250 missiles launched today from Gaza against southern Israel may not have lived up to that threat. Over 100 were shot down by the Israeli military. But the extended range of some of the Iranian-made missiles had people in Tel Aviv running for cover as air raid sirens sounded throughout this large and bustling metropolis. The last time this happened was in 1991, during the First Gulf War. Tonight, there are also reports that Israeli forces are moving towards the Gaza border to begin a possible ground invasion. Carl Dinen's report does contain some distressing images.
A concealed rocket launcher in Gaza. This is why the Israelis are angry. For Israelis, the Palestinian rockets are frightening, but often ineffective. Not this time.
Now, unfortunately, we've confirmed 3 Israelis that were killed. At the moment, our bomb disposal experts are still inside the apartment, as well as forensics.
2 women and a man died in Kiryat Malachi. 2 babies and a 4-year-old boy were injured. Israel says there have been 822 rocket attacks this year, and they have had enough.
The terrorists are committing a double war crime. They fire at Israeli civilians, and they hide behind Palestinian civilians. And by contrast, Israel takes every measure to avoid civilian casualties.
But they don't always avoid civilian casualties. Since yesterday's assassination of Ahmed Jabari, the head of the military wing of Hamas, 15 Palestinians have been killed, 8 have been civilians. One of them was Omar Misharawi, the son of a local BBC technician. Omar was 11 months old when he died. The Hamas leadership remains defiant.
You are now at a new stage of the resistance, of steadfastness and jihad. You are at a new stage of the victory and dignity of the people. We are sure that we are getting nearer to victory and liberation.
Rockets fired from Gaza today hit Kiryat Malachi, where the Israeli civilians were killed, and came close to Tel Aviv itself, as well as striking other locations in Israel. The Israelis say 274 rockets have been fired at them from Gaza since yesterday. They claim 105 of those have been intercepted by their own missile defences. And in return, the Israelis say they've hit 250 targets inside Gaza. The Israelis also have ground forces in place around Gaza and have not ruled out an invasion.
All the options are on the table, including the possibility of a ground operation. We have alerted some of our reserve units, and we are considering our next step.
But so far, the scale of the Israeli assault does not match that which preceded the 2008 incursion into Gaza. And yet, the sound of air raid sirens in Tel Aviv, for the first time in 2 decades, means the Israeli government is under pressure to act. Tonight, 30,000 reservists have been called up, and ground forces have been seen moving towards the Gaza border.
Well, I'm joined now by our reporter, Inigo Gilmer, who is in Tel Aviv tonight. Inigo, I don't know if you were there when the sirens sounded, but the atmosphere must have been pretty terrified.
Absolutely, people are terrified here. About 3 hours ago, loud explosions were heard in the beach area not far from here in Tel Aviv. And I spoke to one eyewitness who said he heard 2 loud explosions and people ran into buildings to take cover. There are many bomb shelters in Tel Aviv. And obviously there's a lot of panic because people didn't expect this. It's caused a lot of confusion. It comes just after the Israeli military has been claiming that it's taken out the weapon stockpiles in Gaza and taken out any longer range weapons. And now we've seen this just a few hours ago, sirens going off for the first time in 2 decades, and people fearful that missiles may land in Tel Aviv. So that's raised a lot of questions about the military's claims that they've taken out this threat, and also raised questions about what may happen next.
Tel Aviv is a huge, bustling city. It's a commercial center. Last time I was there, it seemed like a boomtown almost. What do people think there will break this spiral of violence, as the Foreign Secretary called it?
Well, I think everyone's waiting to see what the Israeli leaders will now do. Just in the last couple of hours, they've been ramping up the rhetoric on the airwaves. We've seen Ehud Barak, the defense minister, saying that the IDF will stand strong. The IDF spokesman himself was just on Channel 2, Israeli Channel 2, saying that it will be a restless night in Gaza. It's the kind of things they think the Israeli population wants to hear, that they're going to stand strong against these threats. And of course, now a huge number of Israeli reservists, almost unprecedented, are being called up for what looks like it could be a possible ground offensive. Things seem to be pointing in that direction. You already have the regular army on the border, tanks deployed, heavy weaponry deployed on the border with Gaza, and now these reservists possibly moving in. It all points to a ground invasion, and that's something that Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, has to be very careful with, because obviously if there are casualties, that could be counterproductive for him. But the feeling is from the leadership here that they need to make this noise, they need to stand strong and perhaps attack Gaza to take out this weapons threat, as they say, and make Israel, the southern Israel area and Tel Aviv now, safe. So it looks like it's going to be much more war to come, and it could get much bloodier.
Okay. Inigo Gilmer in Tel Aviv for us tonight. Thank you very much indeed.